Well, alright. Like you always say, welcome. Number one sports talking league. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Superbowl.
Yeah. You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that? Who that to the Black and Gold family, man? We in this thing for another installment of the Sports Coma. TSC is in the building, live and direct. We in this thing on Hump Day. Hope all of you guys had a fantastic Hump Day. Wednesday had a pretty nice day. Of course, if you're in the New Orleans area or around the area, the region, we got Arctic blast coming through according to the weathermen and weather ladies. That'll be swooping in to chillify everything. So big ups to the family members. Thank y'all for chiming in this Hump Day edition of the Coma. But this won't be an extended show today, family. Of course, we got the Pelican post-game report coming up later on as the Pelicans are thriving to get another win, baby, to get that 500. We'll be covering that tonight on the Pelican post-game report. So if you're a Pelicans person, feel free to join and subscribe to the Pelican post-game report. The link is in the description section. Join us. As passionate as we are, a lot of things, we're also passionate about the Pelicans. Much love to you guys. And salute to the great Saint Think Tank and the Who Dat Nation. Much love to the family members. Thank y'all for being in this joint. Big ups to you and Yearns. And like I've been saying for over 5 years, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q, and you're the great Saint Think Tank. The best of the Black and Gold Nation is well represented. Who that to you? Much love to you guys. And you know what? I got to give you another salute because the great Saint Think Tank and the Who Dat Nation has been through a lot for years, man. And this is to all of us and the guys that stand and keeping it together, and, you know, through all this great turbulence and difficulty we experience as Saints people. So I thank you for chiming in on this episode of the Coma. And in this edition, we're going to cover a few news notes and items on this Wednesday edition. Like I said, I'm not going to be keeping with you guys. I'm not going to hold you long on this show. Of course, I'll come back Thursday and we'll do an extended show, a little longer Sports Coma, where I open up the lines and let family members chime in on their thoughts and concerns going into the offseason, cap economics, draft talk, whatever you want to do. We'll open up the lines Thursday and go at it tonight. I'm pushing a fine timeline with the Pelican post-game report. So big ups to the family members. Thank y'all for chiming in. And let's do our roll call we traditionally do. For those who are new to the stream, we go roll call. And we call out and give a shout out to every last member in the Who Dat Nation that's in here, because I'm big on that. So gonna start it off with brother Jerry Paul Jr., the OG in the building. Who that to you? Cameron, who that to you? Michael Nelson, what's up, Mike? He says, Big Q, who that to you, fam? We all know it was rigged. Only the real ones will admit it. You know what, Michael? Thank you for that comment. You are real too, my friend, to be here. And listen, fam, it's not gonna, it does us no good to remain in denial. You know, we got to face things as they are. And listen, I've been saying this, and I'm so happy because this one's called TSC Super Bowl 55 ratings plunge. Game hits 50-year low. And I'm explaining to the family members why that's a great thing. Why that's a great thing. Because when you wake up here, you've changed everything, the dynamics. See, they only getting away with doing that type of stuff because we be sleeping over the last many years. But now that we are cognizant of it, they have to change the narrative now, where they have to play it straighter because we watching them. You see, and then not only do we then know, then we do. And I'm going to break it down. I'm going to go further. But so, Michael, thank you and welcome to the family. Appreciate you being here, fam. But you're absolutely right, my friend. All of those garbage time national outlets will never admit to that. You won't hear it said on ESPN. You will never hear it said on Fox. You'll never hear it said on NBC. Another of these picking, chopping, rotten, underhanded, garbage time media operations that's kissing their butts. You know, you'll never hear them say that because they living off of it. But enough is enough. You've been tricking and fooling the people long enough. You just tell the truth, man. And besides, we gonna change this narrative anyway. Anyway, big ups to you, Tyra. What's up, baby? T Mama, baby. Who that tell you? GM Care, what's up, fam? GM Care said with so much going on in the world, not many people tuned into sports. Depends, my friend. If you can make sports entertaining and turn it with a vantage point where you can kind of affix it together, you know, meld it as it were. And I've often said life and sports are pretty much, you know, are comparative. They're hand in hand. It's the same deal, you know. But a lot of people use sports as an escape because their lives or the world is so, you know, so dysfunctional. So sometimes people escape into it. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to take that approach. There is different approaches, and that's what the sports comb is all about, coming up with different approaches. JT, big ups to you. Thank you, Kev, as well, being here. JT, much love to you. Who that to your fam? Latrell, what's up, Latrell? Who that fam? He says, when they fired the commissioner, I'm going to throw a barbecue party. Who that? I know, bro. It's about time, isn't it? Simply Tasha, who that to you, baby? Good to see you as well. Jose, what's up, Jose? Who that to you? He says, did not watch the game. Turn off the TV and other things. So Hosea, aha, like the old guy from Coming to America and the barbershop scene of Coming to America, the first one. Eddie Murphy in the barbershop, the little guy playing chess. Aha. All that means is that you are a part as well of the many people that tuned it off, and I love it. All right, you stupid fool says y'all came up short this year because it was a part of the script. He says also TB figured out you guys, right? I knew. Well, thank you, you stupid fool. Thank you for being here, fam. Appreciate you. Said I knew you guys were going to lose when Hill and Murray were out injured. Thank you and welcome to the channel as well. Appreciate you, bro, and welcome to the Great Saint Think Tank as well. You don't have to be a Saints person to be here. We got a lot of other family members that have other teams as well. Tasha's team is the Cowboys. I ain't gonna disrespect Tasha. My bad, Tasha. But her team is the Cowboys, and that's all right, man. We got other family members, Raiders, Titans, Bucks, many others. The family members tell y'all, and they just come here because they love the camaraderie and the content. But thank you for joining us and appreciate you subscribing to the stream as well. So big ups to the rest of the family members. Let's get on through here. Who that for life? Who that to your fam? Big ups, AQ. You see us winning the South again or Bucks? Interesting. Depends, bro, upon the movements that are made, my friend. A lot too early to kind of to break that down. So, you know, we're going to keep it going, though, but we'll see, bro. All right, big ups to you, Tramal Kellup. Who that to you? KK504 and 44 Lady. Who that to you as well? Cameron, once again, who that to you? Kevin Conley, who that to you? Good to see you in the chat. State of the Pelicans, DJ, what's up, fam? Good to see you as well. Much love, appreciate you. Bobby Walker, what's up, Bobby? Who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. Much love. All right, what's up, Idris? Big ups to you, fam. Who that to you, Idris? Jasper, what's up, fam? Big ups to you, Kenny. What's up, Kenny Sutton? Who that, bro? Good to see you. CT Crusher, what's good, fam? Who that to you, bro? Good to see you in the building as well. All right, brother Dada is in the building. Big ups to you, and who that to you as well. Who else we got chiming in this thing? A lot of family members jumping in here as well. All right, who else we got chiming in? Torrey Shepard Sr., what's up, Torrey? Big ups, fam. All right, Kashawn, who that to you, bro? What's up, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. And all the family members, if I didn't give you a who dat, give me a who dat, and I'll give you a who dat back, baby. Who that for life? What's up, fam? Big ups to you. Lamar, what's up, fam? Who that to you, Lamar? Much love, fam. Good to see you in the chat as well. So in this installment of the Coma, like I said, fam, it won't be a long show, maybe the confines about an hour. I'll be with you guys. And like I said, I promise I'll come back on our Thursday show and open up the lines of communication. We'll have a Q&A section where you guys be able to go wherever you guys want to go. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Please hit the like button. If you aren't a subscriber, please feel free to subscribe and join the Great Saint Think Tank today. All right, fam. So number one, we're going to get into some of this, man. And like I said, I got about 3 articles that I want to go over with the family members in this installment of the Tacoma. And of course, the main one is dealing with the NFL, ratings plunge. And I think that's instrumental in so many ways. And of course, the second one will be, we'll cover a couple of draft news, other stuff that's going on, some best fits for our players like Marcus Davenport. We'll also go over the Saints calendar, offseason calendar, and for the summation of the hour. Then I will take much love, Tasha. Tasha, we got love for you, Tasha. I'm not gonna pick on the Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? It's just that's the whole Saints thing that we got going on. They're our rivals going west. If we head west, our biggest rivals going west of us is not the Houston Texans, it's the Dallas Cowboys. And our biggest rivals going east is, of course, the Atlanta Saints. And I didn't screw up and said the Atlanta, you mean the Falcons, right? No. I mean the Atlanta Saints, because I would never, ever, as a professional team, go to my arch nemesis and get help as a general manager to fix my team's success. Are you kidding me? That is a new low, you Atlanta Saints. So you couldn't win as the Atlanta Falcons. You had to become the Atlanta Saints. See, we should have realized this, family. It started when they stole a name off our building. They stole a name off the building first. I'm like, how could they be 2 stadiums with the same type of name? Then all of a sudden, now it come with stealing your people, and the last part is stealing your players. So the Atlanta Saints are in the building. They forfeited the Falcons, and they're now the Atlanta Saints. But I should have known something was up when they stole the name off the building over there. Didn't do them no good winning, but they had to get our people on there. But anyway, I'm gonna let the Falcons make it right now as well. Got 2 Saints. Y'all ain't know we had 2 Saints teams in the NFL. Well, hey, man, now y'all know. Hey. All right, so without further ado, man, we're going to get into this sucker here. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you aren't a subscriber, as we will pick up on the first article of the show. All right. Super Bowl 55 ratings plunge in New Orleans. No Saints boycott needed as game hits 50-year low. I absolutely love it. Now, I don't love it just because, listen, I like Tom Brady, okay? I do like Tom Brady because I do applaud when you win. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a difficult thing to be successful. And you just have to keep trying. It's a lot of part of it is the preparation, consistency, and persistence. And then, of course, studying and taking it serious to a degree. Not over serious where it gets to a point where it becomes dull or boring, but actually it becomes where it becomes a chore, but you can still have fun with it. So there's many people in different fields around the world that take their job, have a great balance with their job, and they just really great at what they do. Tom Brady is one of them dudes. And of course he had some help from, a lot of different things outside, but he still had to perform on the field to get a lot of that. So it's not about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting Tom Brady, and then 1 year, a team that hadn't made the playoffs in 7 years, wasn't even close. In 7 years, goes there in 1 year and ultimately takes the team to the Super Bowl in 1 year. It is so fanciful and so outright. Now, it might have been believable if you were in the weaker situation. But it's just the fact that, I've been paying attention to this team over the years because I knew ultimately they had a narrative with Tom Brady's name on it. While we see the completion, the end game of it, as you've seen a lot of the bogus calls that were made in the game and a lot of bogus calls throughout the year. Now, if you're a Tampa Bay person, you must keep it real and admit that's was a lot of bogus stuff going on. But is Tom Brady really that great, or is he getting a lot of help? Now, he's great at what he does. But to take a team that hadn't been in the playoffs in 7 years, wasn't even close, add 3 or 4 pieces to it, and then had gone an 8-game winning streak into the playoffs and beat you, and you dominated this team quite easily through the regular season, beat you, You gave up 4 turnovers. I'm saying you like you ain't me. You and me, we did it. Turn the ball over. Tampa Bay wins, goes to the Super Bowl, beat the Kansas City Chiefs handily. A lot of people wasn't buying the narrative. And of course, a lot of people, we covered the reports, but Larry Johnson said, we also covered the reports of what other players, and I could have did several other reports because there were a lot of of the guys coming out and admitting to the fixtures, and they even mentioned non-disclosure agreements to keep the secret. But listen, NFL, if you're listening, which you probably are, let you be aware of some interesting facts that the populace already knows. The masses already know that you're a non-for-profit organization. We know you're set up like a charity. We already know that. We already know that you're set up like an entertainment league. So you're not actually a football league, so that you reserve the right to have entertainment in there and have the presentation where you can then, when you need to, you can then script certain contests so you don't get hit with lawsuits, because you would then define it as a football league, and you're not supposed to be doing that because that's illegal. So if you're rated as an entertainment entity, then some scripting is allowed, which is why I was pushing like some of these guys that had some of the Saints family members who had lawsuits. One guy in Mandeville had a lawsuit, which he could have actually pushed on and kept it going, but he seemed to drop it because he seen it as a distraction. I don't know if he was paid off or just foolish to believe that your little piddling lawsuit would pose to a distraction for a Super Bowl champion team or a Super Bowl competing team, that I thought. But ultimately, if he had proceeded, we could have been able to blow the books open, and then all this would have been discovered. So they fight tooth and nail. And remember, this is an entity that has a lot of power. They accumulated power. They've been in existence for 100 years. So if you have an organization that's 100 years old, you best believe they got resources and ties and paid people off at every possible level. So with that being said, I just want the NFL to know that we already know this. And as such, you will not be able to run these type of narratives because the majority of the mass populace eyes are watching you now. So before I get that, I want to say that's a big part of why I'm so happy that this is out there, because it will actually help to make sure this stuff flies straight. And they'll keep their little grubby paws out of trying to manipulate games for money when we see that these type of things don't work, when you try to force feed us narratives that we know are utterly ridiculous. When we then turn off the television or then pull back money, then they start paying attention. We can't do this no more. They paying attention now. That ain't just like the elite call us the unwashed masses. Guess what? We got brains. And whatever you thought you was going to do to them, it ain't going to work, player. The narrative is not, the narrative was ran by you because we let you run it. Now we're not playing those games with you. We paying attention to you. So they would have to change this up. Anyway, let's get into this thing. Big ups to Jeff Nowak, who did a pretty good job on writing this. Even without the boycott, the second line Super Bowl 55 ratings, New Orleans were the lowest since the last time Tom Brady got there. The city that often punches above its weight when it comes to football viewing didn't do that on Sunday. According to the data from WWL TV, the viewership opened up at a rating of 36.8 and peaked at 45.5 with a 64.8% market share as Tampa Bay Buccaneers faced the Chiefs. Despite a hefty balance of New Orleans and Louisiana natives on the field, including favorites of Leonard Fournette, Tyrann Mathieu, viewership fell 12 points below the peak for the Super Bowl 54, which pitted the Chiefs against the 49ers. Now, the C-virus pandemic meant viewing parties were non-starter this time around, but the game itself also failed to live up to expectation. The peak rating was 57.4, and the Super Bowl 54 came as the Chiefs rallied to beat the Niners in the second half. This year, Tom Brady and the Bucs dominated throughout, were never pushed by my homeboys and the Chiefs after halftime. The ratings reached their peak at about 8 p.m. but fell quickly over the final hour. While the viewership figures represent a significant low for the area, it's far from any sort of record. That's because Saints fans turned out en masse for a second line and other boycott events 2 years ago in lieu of watching Super Bowl 53 between the Pats and the Rams. The events were in protest of the no call late in the NFC Championship 2 weeks prior. The city was successful in its efforts, effectively dumping the local ratings down to 26.2. The rating was almost exactly half of the 55 rating the area logged for Super Bowl 52, which also featured the Patriots in a loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, as you can see, this is Novak's tweet. Tom Brady loves winning Super Bowls, but it seems viewers are getting bored. Super Bowl 55 had a national rating of 38.2. That's the lowest in more than 50 years. The only three with lower ratings with Super Bowl 1, 2, and 3. The rating was lower than Super Bowl 2. Oh, man, I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Stop playing games, man, and do it for real. But the Saints were not alone in failing to tune in for this year's title game. See, it wasn't just locally. It was a national phenom because people are waking up. This is the awakening time. So no amount of whatever you trying to put or do or whatever you trying to do to the people, it's not going to work anymore. The Most High says time for their minds to wake up. So people are waking up to this stuff and they're breaking into conditioning and they pulling their goddamn hair out. But the reality is stop playing games and play it straight. But, you know, we'll see if they can. Now, if they can't, they're just going to bottom out, lose money, and another league that will play it straight will replace your ass. Keep playing. The CBS broadcast drew about 38.2 rating nationally. That accounted for a still massive 91.63 viewers, but a significant drop from the 41.6 rating and 100.45 million viewers a year earlier. In fact, the number marks the lowest rated Super Bowl in more than 50 years, according to data from Sports Media Watch. The only Super Bowls that logged lower ratings were number 1 and 2, and spanning from 67 to 69. Only one edition of the big game since 1972 to ever even fall below the 40 line rating. 49 in the Broncos, 49ers in the Broncos back in 69 had a rating of 39.0. But when New Orleans is involved in any game, then think about this now. And think about this adding to the next mixture of what it's going to look like next year. And y'all remember this. Please remember this, because at some time I'm going to pull this back, maybe several contests, several shows into it. Several dozen shows when we get into the next season. But when New Orleans, pay attention to this is key metric here, key metric. But when New Orleans is involved in any game, the NFL numbers are far more encouraging. The Saints wildcard round victory over the Bears drew by far the top rating of the 6-game playoff weekend. Buoyant slightly by simulcast of Nickelodeon, New Orleans divisional round matchup with the Bucs drew the peak viewership total that weekend at 35.46 million. So the black and gold bring them out, while failing slightly behind the matchup between the Chiefs and the Browns on their rating side. And you can see the NFL ratings right here. You can check it out in that article. Now, all the Saints were featured in 8 of the 35 top-rated broadcasts of 2020. Remember this. This is key because the Saints bring them out. And all of the Saints were featured in 8 of the top 35 rated broadcasts of the 2020 regular seasons, including 4 of the top 11 and number 1 overall, baby. The top-rated broadcast game came against the Bucs in Week 1 at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome and represented a 4-year ratings high for Fox. The Packers were the only other team to log 8 appearances in the top 35. That includes a Week 3 Sunday night football matchup against the Saints in New Orleans that ranked 24th overall and number 3 among Sunday night football broadcasts. All right, so this is a really good article right here by Novak from the Times-Picayune. You can feel free to check it out. And I'm giving them big credit for this stick. But I think, listen, man, this is absolutely terrific and epic in many ways because it's showing you that we ain't playing no games with you. We'll turn this off on you if you don't start playing this straight. And don't think for a second. See, and that's the point some of these people have to get. They get greedy. They're greedy. So the greed clouds their vision and makes them think just because they're making some bucks off of you that they can keep doing that for another 100 years. You thinking over 100 years, I give you we give you our families, and then they run up in there, and a lot of them get rich, but they get brain and head injuries. They get broken up, and many times you're seeing a lot of our athletes from our families damaged to the point where they have used great amounts of their fortune to take care of their medical situation. A lot of them have successive head injuries that require them to use money, a lot of the money just to take care of that. So this is a high stakes game, and it's not just money, it's brain, soul, everything. And see, we got to understand our power dynamic. And I don't want to just get all into that right now because, I do that from time to time because I like to bring it up a level or two and not just talk about sports, but add everything to it. That's why people love the Sports Coma, because we keep it real deal Holyfield. A lot of people don't talk like this because a lot of them don't know how to talk like this. A lot of them might not have that information. A lot of them don't see as any benefit to be able to keep it real with the people. But the reality is we've given everything. Don't we deserve anything? For a person that gives everything, don't they deserve everything in return? We give them everything for this to work. If your families did not play in these sport leagues would cease to exist. That's the power that we have. And just like we have the ability to turn the television off and not participate, we're making a statement and we're changing the narrative just by not playing along with it and forcing to let them know that, listen, do this right or we'll keep pulling viewership from you and you'll keep bottoming out. But see, that's when they have to pay attention when you start messing with their pocketbook. Then they say, you know what, we got to stop doing this because they looking at us. We got to stop doing this, baby. And that's what happens. So with that being said, I salute you to all the beautiful people, not just the Who Dat Nation, but all the sports team nation across the plane, across the country, across the world, who turned this Super Bowl off and said, listen, y'all playing too many games. I see what y'all doing, and I applaud you. I applaud you. I applaud you. All right, let's move on to the next thing, baby. Detroit Lions named best fit for safety Marcus Williams. You say, Q, why are you bringing this one up? Because, you know what, family, remember in the previous shows, I kept saying, for whatever reason, I kept calling, I said, Marcus Williams is leaving. He's going to be gone. And I was saying this during the season. I said, for whatever reason, I keep seeing a silver helmet. And I don't know if it's the Cowboys or the Lions. Well, obviously the Lions, it's coming from the Lions page that they said Detroit Lions named best fit for safety Marcus Williams. Now, that was prior to Matt Campbell, leaving the tight end position and taking a head coaching job in Detroit. That was prior to Aaron Glenn becoming the defensive coordinator of said team. That was well ahead of that. I just seen something, man. And sometimes you see stuff. I seen him with a silver helmet on. And I told you, I said, I don't know if it's the Cowgirls or it's the boys. I'm sorry, Tasha. I don't know if it's the Cowboys or it's the Detroit Lions. Well, obviously the Detroit Lions make sense, right? Being that Campbell's up there, former Saint. Defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn is there, who coached Marcus Williams, and they do need safety. They do have some money. Marcus Williams makes sense. Let's get into it. Free agent safety Marcus Williams is likely going to have plenty of suitors during free agency this offseason. Saints are up against the salary cap and will have several tough decisions to make ahead of the 2021 season. Now, Marcus Williams, who's 24, has been a starter in the Saints secondary the past 4 seasons and could be the odd man out. He's definitely gone. He recorded 13 career interceptions, tying them with Mike McKenzie and Fred Thomas. Oh, my goodness, 2 terrible suckers. You just brung out, don't ever compare that man to them bum-ass dudes. Mike McKenzie, the Predator, and Fred Clubhand Thomas. Even when he didn't have 2 clubs on his hand, he was dropping the ball. But I got to give Fred Thomas. At least Fred Thomas had heart, man. He used to get his ass turned, twisted, burnt, rotisserie. But at least Fred Thomas had some heart. I can never say that about him. McKenzie just was severely overrated. He had a lot of help in Green Bay with the safety play over the top. When he came to New Orleans, boy, he was severely exposed. He was terrible, man. Anyway, let's just went back in my Saints brain right quick. ESPN recently listed the top NFL free agent this year in their landing spots. Well, for the talented defensive back, Detroit was listed as the best fit at this point of the career. Now, according to ESPN, New Lions coach Dan Campbell and defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn came from New Orleans, where they watched Williams intercept 13 passes and break up 30 more over 4 seasons. A defense in need of playmaking on the back end will explore signing the extensional post safety. So will New Orleans players with his ball skills get paid? Now, this is a clear example of people who not properly doing their homework. Because if he knew anything about Marcus Williams, he would not be labeling him as extinctual. We was fighting for him to see stuff up until the start of this year, So, but I ain't going to knock on the kid, man. He have a lot to learn, but he did have 13 interceptions. If he learned how to tackle, he probably would have had, close to 400 tackles for his career in all the games that he started for New Orleans. So I'm not upset. They can have him. While Detroit doesn't have the best salary cap outlook, got better than New Orleans, though, it is easy to see why Williams would be a prize target for the Lions' new coaching staff. Aaron Glenn now has the Lions' defensive coordinator job, was Williams' first position coach in the NFL, and is familiar with his skill set. Now, when it's possible, Williams may command more money with a team not undergoing a complete rebuild. It is safe to assume Detroit will be inquiring about his services in the offseason, which makes sense because Aaron Glenn's there. He has a familiarity to him. Marcus is a big safety, but he needs to learn how to tackle. He's gotten better this past year because of the tutelage of Malcolm Jenkins. But my goodness, Marcus Williams was supposed to be a Pro Bowl safety this year. And really, 4 years and all of the time that he's been starting, all of the games that he's playing, he should have been a Pro Bowler this year. Not discounting the fact that he got hurt, over the last couple of years, but really he should supposed to be a lot farther along than what he has been here in New Orleans. Maybe they can get that most out of him. All right, let's go on to the next article, the important dates to circle on the 2020 Saints offseason calendar, brought to us by the Saints Wire. It says the NFL 2020 offseason is going to look as chaotic and uncertain as the spring and summer 2020, and that extends to New Orleans Saints. There won't be an NFL scout combine for the Peyton to humble his binoculars act or after hours steakhouse for Mickey Loomis to meet with players' agents. But there's going to be a ton of work to do for all involved in the number of deadlines and start dates to jot down in your day planner. Here's what you need to know. Okay, now I'm going to give the family members an opportunity, if you want to write this information down, baby. Who that to Yoka Paulie? Good to see you in the chat. What's up, Anthony? Big ups to you, fam. February the 23rd, man. Consequently, that's my B-day. Yeah. Well. All right. Franchise tag windows open. All right. It's possible the Saints use the franchise tag for the first time in quite a while valuable free agents like Marcus Williams and Trey Hendrickson up for new contracts. If the 2020 salary cap is set at $180.5, the franchise tag for safeties will be valued at $10.4, whereas the defensive ends will be due north of $14.5. None of that is good if you're the Saints because you are not going to pay Trey Hendrickson that much. You're not going to pay Marcus Williams $10 million a season. I say let them have it. Let them go. I'm sorry. Let them go. New Orleans could also use a slightly less valuable transition tag, which allows other teams to negotiate a deal establishing the market price. Now, that is an option, but doesn't offer any compensation should the Saints not match the offer. They have until March the 9th to issue either tag. So February 23rd, franchise tag. What's up, Original Hot Boy? Who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. And we'll see how that shakes. After February the 23rd, March the 10th is the next one. And that'll be the first college pro days. Of course, up to this point, family, they're saying that, the combine is not going to happen. So the NFL combine, they're not going to do that. But they will still have pro days up to this point. So they'll still be doing pro days. So a lot of pro days are going to happen here. So let's go over them. There will be no NFL scouting combine in Indianapolis this year due to the C virus, and relatively few colleges are going to be able to host pro days for their draft prospects. Even fewer team scouts will be allowed to hit the road to attend, and private meetings with teams will be heavily restricted. But the first pro day will be held at Arkansas with dozens of the bigger, better funded of schools following their lead in the spring. Here's the current schedule as it stands. Now, this could change. Arkansas is up on March the 10th. Oklahoma follows along on the 12th. Georgia Tech is the 16th. Pittsburgh the 17th. Auburn the 18th, along with Buffalo, Georgia Tech, Louisiana Tech. On the 19th of March is Memphis, TCU. Florida State's the 22nd of March. The 23rd is Central Michigan. The 24th of March will be Michigan State in South Carolina. The 25th will be Ole Miss in Western Michigan. The 26th will be Boston College, BYU, Michigan, Virginia Tech, all in March the 26th. March the 29th, we'll have 4 teams, Louisiana Lafayette, Miami, Miami of Ohio, and North Carolina. Going into the back end of the month, you'll have Louisville, Washington, all for March the 30th. And, of course, 3 teams for March 31st, Boise State, Notre Dame, Florida, and, of course, the starting off April Fool's Day will be North Carolina. And, of course, April the 6th is Nebraska. Now, this could change. More teams could be added as well. We'll see how it all shakes, man, how it goes in this uncertain time right here. After that occurs, March the 15th will be the next day on the schedule. For those who don't know, legal tampering window opens. This is when the free agents and interested teams can begin negotiating contracts when the majority of the big money deals are hammered out, as teams with cap space to burn look to jump on the less aggressive rivals. Don't expect many blockbuster moves from New Orleans given the cap situation. However, any agreements are committed verbally, not in ink. So no contracts can be signed until the start of the league year on March. But big shakeups are still possible in the window. The Saints signed Malcolm Jenkins here last offseason and added Latavius Murray, while Mark Ingram's agent waffled during the 2019 period. Now, March the 17th, free agency opens up. Teams must be cap compliant. Now, this is where the doors are kicked down. Contracts will be signed and faxed to the NFL office for approval. Every team must get beneath the salary cap by 4 p.m. of March the 17th. So that now we have an established deadline, family. We have an established deadline of when the Saints need to be underneath the cap. By March the 17th, 4 p.m. of March the 17th, 2021. Okay, we got that now. The Saints have to be underneath the cap by March the 17th, 4 p.m. Eastern time. You got to throw that time frame in there. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on March the 17th. Saints have to be underneath the cap by that time. So now we have a point of reference when we know the Saints got to get to cutting and get to going. Now for the Saints, this is their 11th hour to finish tweaking the roster, cutting their cap casualties. But if they work as they have before, they shouldn't take anything down to the wire. It'll be interesting to see if they add any new faces right out of the gate, but we'll see. But we should see some big departures like Marcus Williams, Trey Hendrickson, Sheldon Rankins, Jared Cook, Alex Anzalone. All of those guys could be Jameis Winston too. He's an unrestricted free agent. Teams are looking at him. We shall see. And of course, following that, April the 29th is the first round of the 2021 NFL Draft. Draft day is rarely predictable for the Saints. It should have been more enigmatic after Drew's retired, as expected to be his retiring. Depending on how free agency shake out, they could very well go into the draft, which is 2 quarterbacks under contract, Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian. Maybe they end up finally drafting a rookie early on. Don't bet on it. But for now, the Saints are scheduled to pick at the 28th overall selection, but don't rule out an aggressive trade up in the board. In the past years, they have made their first round selection at number 24th in 2020, and number 14 in 2018, number 11 and 32 in 2017, and number 12 in 2016. They also controlled number 13 and 31 picks back in 2015. April the 30th, the day after the first round of the draft, the second and third rounds of the draft commence. And this is the meat and potatoes part of the draft. Just look at the talent they added in recent years. Mike Thomas, Von Bell, Marcus Williams, Alvin Kamara, Trey Hendrickson, Traquan Smith, Eric McCoy. So ain't no doubt about it. You're going to find value in the second and third rounds. The injury is still out on 2020. The jury, still out on 2020 pick Zach Bond. But the Saints have great success here. But how many picks will they have? They've already traded the initial third rounder to help get Zach Bond. But they're slated to pick in the second round at 60 and should receive a pair of compensatory picks in the third round for losing not only Teddy Bridgewater, but also Terry Fontenot to the Atlanta Saints. We'll see if those selections will be conveyed as expected. The NFL still has to punish the Saints now because of transgressions against the C-19 rules that occurred with Alvin Kamara. So we'll see where they go with that. A cash fine. I don't know what's going on. We will know sooner or later. Then, of course, May Day, May 1st, final round of the 2020 draft and undrafted free agents. This is where the Saints really shine in the undrafted aspect of the draft, all of the best players, or the fall through the crack players, as I call them. The Saints always get the best undrafted guys because they've gained a reputation as a team that gives undrafted guys an opportunity to not only make the roster, but to earn valuable starting position, whether that's on defense, offense, wherever. The Saints have got that reputation. They've done terrific, and that's large part because of guys like Jeff Ireland for president. Now, let's keep it going in this one. This should be quiet. This should be a quiet Saturday for the Saints until it isn't. They're only one pick here, a fourth rounder after trading away most of their selections or losing them to C-19 violations. The real action will begin after the draft is over, when New Orleans can start making calls to rookies who fell through the cracks and are free to sign with any team. They'll put together a very solid group in past years of undrafted players. Remember, guys, like these guys are on a team that are very, and I've always talked about the undrafted guys, because the Saints they do a terrific job of developing undrafted talent into key role players, or people that can actually come in once they blow up to a degree and actually help you in the starting capacity. Return specialist Deontay Harris is the best of the block. He's the supreme of the undrafted gems that we have. This guy was not a Hall of Fame. I'm about to give him too much. He was a Pro Bowler last year, not this year, but year before this year. He was actually a Pro Bowler in that regard. And in my opinion I think Deontay Harris has moved up to the point where he should be challenging for for a starting position on the Saints offense. My goodness. He's fast, he's elusive, he's intelligent, runs good routes. Could you see Deontay Harris complimenting Mike Thomas stretching the field with a deep arm throwing quarterback? That's what Deontay Harris brings. And of course, there's special team aces like JT Gray and Justin Hardy, wide receivers like Marquez Callaway, who's done a terrific job, LaJordan Humphreys, who was good, in parts, Jawan Johnson, who I do say he should be a tight end. Need to convert that guy to a tight end. Defensive ends like Shai Tuttle, Malcolm Roach, Carl Granderson. These guys, Taylor Stallworth, and more. The Saints do a terrific job of landing these type of guys during that period. And then after that's said and done, what comes next? Well, the rookie minicamps typically kick off after the draft in May, but the C-19 stuff, prolonged impact, suggests a big chunk of the offseason will be virtual again. Teams may not be able to gather again until training camp in late July or early August. And the NFL is going to have to move with a lot of caution and uncertainty as shots and efforts around the country proceed to bring the rates under control. So stay tuned on this as well, as this will be the big thing moving forward, as the athletes would then be promoted to take the shots that they need so they can keep doing this stuff. And truth be told, a lot of athletes are already doing that. One of the Charlo brothers, he did that as well and put that in the contract for him to fight the next fighter. I think that's Benavidez, who he's supposed to be fighting. He's trying to get him. It's just me I'm a boxing guy as well, who's putting in the agreement for him to get the shot so that he can fight him. And you're going to start seeing that. You see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar come out with it. You see a lot of that going. So the NFL look for the NFL to make a push for that. And also the NBA is going to also be doing that as well, and a lot of different sports. So that'll be coming down the pipe as well. So a lot of uncertainty after that May 1st date, but this is the calendar for the family members, just to let you guys know what's going on. And that was quite a bit, but at least you were in the know. Say, okay, well, what's next to go on right now? But one of the key dates to focus on, family, remember, is this date here where the Saints need to get underneath the cap. And that will be March the 17th. The Saints need to be under the cap, totally under the cap, at 4 p.m. Eastern time on March the 17th. So that's one of the biggest things right there. Now we have a time frame on that. So let's bounce around a little bit. We covered the Super Bowl 55 ratings plunge in New Orleans. No Saints boycott needed as game hits 50-year low because of a lot of people across the world got tired of the narrative, and they're fighting back by turning it off, just not participating. Kudos to you guys. And of course, Detroit Lions named best fit. And that's just me throwing Marcus Williams in there because I came across this. I was like, how about that? I know I seen something, and they came to me with this kid with a silver helmet on. Let's see if it rings true. And of course, this article right here, we talked about the calendar, which is a very important article to let us know what it's looking like in the future, moving ahead for the black, and not only just for the black and gold, for any other people's teams that want to know they'll have a similar timeline as the Saints. So that information also can help you in your ability to find out what your team needs to do. So those dates are definitely comparative. So with that being said, family, man, it's been absolutely really interesting to see the very least. What's up, Space Ghost? Big ups to you, John Thompson. Much love, fam. Good to see y'all in the chat as well. Big ups to the family members. All of you guys for joining us for the show today, right now. And like I said, for the summation of the rest of the hour, I will take comments and questions from the Great Saint Think Tank chat. So if you guys got any questions or comments, please feel free to drop them in the chat, baby. And then, of course, I will chime in with that. I'd like to give a big shout out to all the family members who jumped in when I wasn't there. What's up, Willie? Willie Bibbins, who that to you, Willie? Royal, what's up, Royal? Oh, you picking at Tasha. All right, Royal Brown, who that to you, fam? Good to see you there as well. Much love to you as well. Big ups to the family members. All right, and all the rest of y'all, man. Much love to y'all. Thank y'all for being here on this Hump Day edition. I usually customarily on Wednesday Saints Talk, I usually be around for like 3 hours. For people that don't know, that's new to the stream, that's how real we keep it here. We be up in here having fun for 3 hours on the road. Today won't be that because I got a tight schedule, like I said, with the Pelican post-game report. But who that to you, Ramsey? Good to see you in the chat, fam. Much love to you as well. So if you got any questions, comments, concerns, please pop them in the chat, baby. All right, Dada says 5'10", 5'11", 4.2, what is it, 4'2", 4'3" guys should be on our radar at wide receiver. Drew couldn't get the ball to them deep in stride, but Winston has a cannon to hit them in stride. That's right. Now you do have guys, man, that the Saints do have on the squad that I really do think should get an opportunity. And let us not forget, Traquan Smith had a terrific season by his own markings. He had a fantastic season. He missed a few games as well. But the truth be told is that Traquan Smith, in his final year of his rookie contract, he does deserve another look going ahead. He has speed and has good size as well. And he's playing with confidence, man. I like what Traquan's becoming. Of course, we talk about Marquez Callaway, who's a natural-born fit there with his speed and size. The guy's just totally tough, has a great awareness of playing the game. It's like he belongs out there on the field. And one of his best attributes is making contested catches and of course holding on to the ball when he's popped. Several times we've seen that happen with Marquez Callaway. Has an eye. I remember on special teams he was an ace there in one game, having 2 fumble recoveries. Remember him? Just a keen eye and awareness of where the ball is around him. He was terrific as well. And of course, the Deontay Harris is another fantastic guy I would love to see. Emmanuel Sanders still under a contract for 1 year. A lot of people thinking that Emmanuel might end up leaving. We'll see. But we have a lot of young wide receivers that definitely deserve an opportunity to look. So I wouldn't be mad at that, Brother Dada, to be able to have another speedster in the mix. But I guess it depends. You can get a speedster in the undrafted market. You're absolutely right. And whether hopefully Winston will be there, we'll see how it looks. But hopefully, if the Saints are serious, they'll package Winston and bring him back in a multi-year deal to compete with Taysom Hill. We'll see how it shakes, man, at the end of the day. But there are a lot of other teams that are looking at Jameis Winston as well and seeing what the Saints saying. We're not the only one that see that. But thank you, Brother Dada, for dropping that knowledge as well. All right, let's keep it going. John said I would take Surtain over him any day of the week. Yeah, Patrick Surtain Jr. I think he's a cornerback, huh? A cornerback, Surtain? Isn't he a cornerback like his dad? I want to say he is. For whatever reason, I'm getting yes in my head that he is a cornerback. They're terrific. Then, of course, they got J.C. Horn, who's a cornerback out of South Carolina. And you know how I feel, fam. We did the TSC Q&A first mock draft a couple of shows ago, 2 Tuesdays ago. And we basically had the mock, and I went safety with the first pick. What was it? A defensive end with the second pick? Because my logic was Marcus Williams is gone. You need a young player back there. So at 28, you'll get an opportunity to pick the best safety in the business. He'll fall to you there. And I took the best safety in the business in college, TCU's Morick. I took a defensive end with the second round pick because I feel like you got Cam Jordan, who's on the plus side of 30. How long do you think Cam can keep that up? And of course, Marcus Davenport, who continues to be injury prone. You're going to need some value there. And of course, remember that our third defensive end really acts, he's almost starter minutes because Dennis Allen loves running that that NASCAR package. So that guy will see a lot of time as well and could be a real situational switcher for guys like Davenport if he's having injury concerns, or to give a guy like Cam Jordan an opportunity to rest. You still have Carl Granderson there, mind you, but I'm just looking at the future because Davenport's there and Cam's getting old. You're gonna need somebody to add there as well, and you can never have too many pass rushes. That's how you win games, by putting pressure on the quarterback, and that's why I got that draft pick there. And then of course with the third pick I went cornerback, because the Saints really need a really good young cornerback underneath Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And people say, well, Q, put Chauncey Gardner at safety. And I'm like, bro, Dennis Allen is not going to move Chauncey Gardner-Johnson from that nickel position to the safety position. He's not going to do that. A guy that's defensively imaginative, undefensively imaginative like Dennis Allen would never move. He's totally comfortable with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson playing a nickel position. He used him as a blitzer. He's a fantastic open field tackler. He guards cornerbacks, running backs well. He has no problem going in there and tackle the quarterback. So I don't see him moving him to a safety position to do that. But we definitely could use a cornerback underneath Chauncey Gardner-Johnson as well, because you have Janoris Jenkins there. He's getting up in there as well. And of course, if injuries occur, you have a young up-and-coming corner. And I know about Keith Washington Jr., but more somebody high on the totem pole in the draft. So, and that's my opinion. I think that's some of the places. But definitely you're looking at more defensive picks than offensive picks. Like we picked the center last year when we should have went on the defensive side of the ball. And that we'll see how that shakes on the back end. All right, Anthony says obvious action moving forward is the C-19 shots for all athletes, NBA and NFL. Duh. Right. Space Ghost says, I'm definitely seeing Marcus going to the Lions. Thank you, Space Ghost. Atara says the Saints need to be stop being so Google and Gaga. All right. Jamal says Marcus Williams will get even more exposed in the Lions defense. Well, that's their problem. That's their goddamn problem. Let them have theirs. Let them have theirs. I mean, we done with it. And they can take P.J. Williams and Ken Crawley up there if Aaron Glenn love them that much. DeWine, what's up, DeWine? DeWine me, who that to your fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. All right, who else we got there? Young City Night, what's up, fam? Big ups to you. Space Ghost says Tyreek Hill type of wide receiver would be great. Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. All right, let's keep it going here. Got about another 8 minutes. Let me see if I can peer on down here and get some more in this thing here. All right, Dada says, let's see, because of Harris, but he's our special team guy. Need an extra speed. It's like money. You can never have enough. That's true, Dada. You can have extra speed guy. But I position taking Harris off of the kick return duties, giving that to Marcus Callaway, and see if you can find an undrafted guy that can come in and play that. And let's graduate Deontay Harris away from the special teams duty and start kind of getting him ready for full-time wide receiver role kind of situations. You know what I'm saying? He's a weapon that has, in my opinion, we had him as a kick returner, punt returner because he didn't know the wide receiver position. But he showed them this year that he's ready for a larger role in the Saints offense. And I'm saying you only have Emmanuel Sanders 1 year. And truth be told, Emmanuel Sanders could be a cap casualty on this team. And like I said, Marquez Callaway to me, and then also you find somebody else in the undrafted market that can come in and help. But I think Deontay Harris should be a guy that we should be looking at as a potential starter, and keeping him away from special teams where he can get hurt. All right, Young City said the Pelicans and Bulls 59-63. Yeah, the game started. I'm about to head out in about 7 minutes, and I'm monitoring the game on my second stream. So Kadarius Toney, Sat Scott, who that to you? That's a good call. I don't know if he'll be available there when the Saints pick, because that guy is an absolute speed demon and a weapon, catches the ball. He would be fantastic for the Saints. And I'm not against having speedsters all over the place, because that would be really awesome to have that wide open assault attack. Man, that would just be excellent. Space Ghost says Callaway just needs to do some ballet to get his ankle stronger or something. He's a beast when he's on the field. Guys made for it. Anthony says, I do love Deontay's a talent. Fool shines. Heavy, what's up, Heavy 360, bro? Says, who that Q? How high of a draft pick do we think we can get for Taysom Hill? I don't know. I mean, I would say possibly maybe a third or second round pick. I wouldn't say a second, but maybe a third round pick for Taysom perhaps. And but you would have to tackle Sean Payton to make that trade. Sean Payton will never relinquish his favorite quarterback. But I say maybe a third or fourth round pick for Taysom. I don't see anybody else saying, yeah, I want Taysom for a second round pick. When we had that out there on him before, nobody didn't want to buck on him to get him. So maybe a third or fourth round. I say value at Taysom Hill right now. He's still not that guy. He's still a tweener guy. Hadn't yet established himself as a quarterback. 4 games, mixed bag. He did a lot of stuff good. The fumbles kind of, all the fumbles that he had kind of tinted, dialed back the excitement we had for him because he was hurting us a lot too with the fumbles. The major fumble we had, because we would have won that game against Green Bay. We were marching to score in that game, and he fumbled that ball away, giving it to Green Bay. Green Bay went on to win it. So he hurting us. He was hurting us. He helped us a lot last year, but he hurt us in some games last year, man. In particular, I think about it, the Green Bay and the Philadelphia game, he hurt the piss out of us in those contests. But he did help us in other regards. But that fumbling, man, that is something that is very eye-opening. We got to keep an eye on that. Space Ghost says we need the QB with a gun. Jameis just works for us. We'll see, bro. I want Jameis to stay, bro, but I just have to, tell you guys that there are teams that know about Jameis like we do. And there'll be teams that have a little bit more money. So I would like him to return, but I'm not going to be sentimental about it. I think that, he goes to the best position that's giving him the money and an opportunity to start. There are several teams out there that's looking for a guy like Jameis. And we'll see how it shakes, because over the next few days or so, this week or so, Adam Schefter's reporting that several teams, including the Bears and the Colts, are in the Carson Wentz movement. And, of course, Carson Wentz is out there. Teddy Bridgewater is out there for trade. Sam Darnold is out there in trade. Deshaun Watson is out there in trade, even though they say they're not going to trade him. We'll see how long that lasts. And, of course, now Russell Wilson. Did you hear about that one? Russell Wilson is now popped up in there. So, boy, this is the year of major QB trades, not to mention Aaron Rodgers, who's saying that he wants a new deal with Green Bay. And Green Bay ain't going to give him no new deal after they drafted the quarterback. And, we'll see. It is the movement. So a lot of movement, depending on how the offseason go in the trade market, could also determine where Jameis Winston ends up. So it's just going to be fun to watch how it all plays out, to be honest with you. And, of course, ultimately to report upon it. So thanks for the question, bro. Appreciate that. All right. Idris says Jameis going to shoot lasers. Tyra says Winston best to stay put. I got you, Tyra. Tyra mean business. Space Ghost says Pale Grant Haley could start at nickel. He need a lot of work, Space Ghost. I do like Pale Grant Haley. I like his nickname. That was a fire nickname we put on him, Pale Grant Haley. That's pretty funny. But we damn sure he needs a lot of work. I would put Keith Washington ahead of him. But we'll see how it shakes, bro. You never know how far these guys can make a jump if they're serious. John Thompson, what's up, fam? Said Big Q, how much can the Saints afford to pay to start a QB next season? 15 to 20 million per year. That's the thing. You already got one quarterback making 16 million. And they'll restructure Taysom's contract a bit. But realistically speaking, does Jameis Winston come and play for the Saints for a 3-year deal at $4 million per year, 4, 8, 12, 12 to 15? If somebody said we're going to pay him 15 to 20 million, do the Saints match a 3-year deal for 15 to 20 million for him? We'll see. It depends on how much they really value him. And of course, like y'all know, I don't believe nothing Sean Payton said around this time of the year. And I've made that for people who don't know. Say, well, what you mean, Q? I've already documented ad nauseum the fact that he's very deceitful around this time of year about who the quarterback is. It ain't like he playing no goddamn games. You ain't playing the 49ers next week. You don't have to play games like it's just like, okay, Teddy Bridgewater is the heir apparent to Drew Brees. And then when the season was over with after he signed back, then all of a sudden it was Taysom Hill as the heir apparent. He didn't say nothing to Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater said, okay, I'm gone. Right? But he says Taysom Hill is the heir apparent after Drew Brees. That was early this year, right? But he then cycled back, went to Drew when Drew was on vacation and begged Drew to come back for 1 year because Taysom Hill isn't ready. Y'all remember that? Put one in the chat if y'all remember that. And I keep saying that because I don't want that to get lost in the collective memory of us all because so much news come out. I want us to be able to remember that key point that last year around this same time, the same thing happened. Is that he said that Taysom is Taysom's team. He's the heir apparent to Drew, and that we need Drew to come back for 1 year so Taysom can get ready. Well, guess what? Drew did that. He came back 1 year, gave that 1 year to the Saints. Taysom is in, now it's supposed to be Taysom's team. Now all of a sudden we're waiting on Drew to retire. Like they offered Drew the job. That wasn't the original agreement. So if that's not the original agreement, where does that put Taysom Hill? If you telling me that I was the guy behind Drew and now you still waiting on Drew to retire after telling me to be 1 year, what the hell, man? It ain't like I got several contracts. I got 1 year left on the contract here, you know? And then after he did that, then the game wasn't finished. He cycled back to Teddy Bridgewater and tried to sign him while that was going on. And Teddy says, stuck him the big old finger. You know which one he did. And then he ran over there to Carolina. So like I've said, and this is the second or third season that he's done that before. So I'm not going to believe too much of anything. Now, the thing he said about Jameis Winston was that Jameis Winston he likes Jameis Winston a lot. Well, if you like Jameis Winston a lot, well, we'll see how much that rolls. So I'm from this. Listen, even though I'm from New Orleans, you know, I'm from Louisiana. In this instance, I'm from Missouri because you're going to have to show me. You're going to have to show me. Put the money on the table. That's all I'm saying. We're going to see how it is. Thank you, John. Appreciate you. Space Go said, I'm a fan of good running game and a pass rush. Love that as well. You know, that's me and you both the same way, bro. Running the ball and pass rush, bro. If you can do both of those things well, you're going to win a lot of games and go deep into the playoffs with that philosophy. All right, look at all them damn ones in the chat. Look at all of that, man. Please remember that, family, because I'm going to bring that up because a lot of people don't remember that. A lot of people let that pass right over them, and I'm just documenting the obvious, but I'll keep telling people, listen, we're going to keep it real deal Holyfield up in this sucker. Kevin Collins says, Q, who will be the restructured contract table? Secondly, clearly Drew was the first. He said, Q, who will be at the restructure? Well, Drew, you're right. Drew was obviously the first, $24 million. You got to look at Mike Thomas. You got to, well, eventually guys like Mike Thomas, Mike Tyson, about to say Mike Tyson, Mike Thomas, guys like Cam Jordan, you know, they got a high cap situation. But you can see guys like Teron Armstead thrown in there, Andrews Pete thrown in there, because I often said the moment Drew leaves or retires, he should take Teron Armstead with him. Thank you, Dad. Appreciate that. He says, would anyone be pissed if the Saints trade their first round pick for J.J. Watt? Would they be pissed for J.J. Watt? I don't know J.J. Watt's contract. How many years is left on J.J. Watt's contract? That'll be kind of a win-now move for the Saints, too, if they were to do that. But you pair J.J. Watt and Cam Jordan together for just the first-round draft pick, would it come with something else, Dada? Would it come with something else? If we give you a 28th overall pick with J.J. Watt, what else does it come with? This just pick for Watt? Or, okay, we give you a first-round pick, Texans give us Watt in a third and a fifth-round pick or something like that. You know, they give us a third and a sixth or something like that. Because that'll be a win-now move in this. The pairing is oddly interesting to me. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Because what that does is that pits J.J. Watt next to Cam Jordan, baby. With Davenport as the third situational rusher. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. Man, that's very intriguing there, brother. I don't know. I like that, man. Oddly enough, I like that. But what mentality would that pit if we decide to go that route? You know, is that a win now move? Because I think he has maybe a year or two left on it. Got a lot of money on his deal too. But very interesting. Very interesting. All right, let's keep it going right there, man. All right, appreciate the question, fam. Thank you, Dada. I appreciate the super chat, my friend. Swag fan. What's up, Swag? He said the Saints not only need better athletic trainers, but they also need a better strength and conditioning coach and a yoga instructor. And they need everything. They need a morals coach down there. They need a couple accountability counselors. They need a couple of security guards, big security guards with chest cameras to make sure Alvin Kamara doesn't pretend to sneak in the building anymore. They need a lot of stuff down on Airline Drive, and I agree with y'all. Let's put accountability counselors at the top of that as well. Space Ghost says Taysom is a solid role player. All right, all right. Kevin says first round is the money round. We need to get that pick right. All right, Kevin. GM Kev thinking like a GM. All right, all right, all right. Let me see who else we got here as we moving on. in this thing, man. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Abraham, what's up, Abraham? Big ups to you. Tragic 504 says, what's up, Tragic? Says, I quietly think Peyton loves Jameis and just not overly playing him up as to not get a hype and bidding war. That's possible, bro. That's very possible. That's true. That could be what he's doing as well. All right, let's keep it going. Tyra says, I'm thankful in his eyes. All right, Abraham says, let's see, says, okay. Ramsey, hey, Q, how about going after Mark Ingram? Not sure about that, bro. I don't know if we're going to do that over again. And see, the thing is, that could be enticing, but remember, Mark Ingram is not going to sit quietly on that bench like Latavius Murray did. Now, y'all remember that. We talking about different type of personalities here. Mark Ingram is a outspoken personality. Do a lot of family members think, and we've known Mark been out here for years, will Mark Ingram sit as quietly by and get those limited amount of snaps as a Latavius Murray do? Latavius does not say a damn word to Peyton. He goes in when he's supposed to, and whatever Peyton does, whatever you want, coach, I'm going to do it. You think Ingram does that? I say no. Ingram's going to bitch a bit to get, if you don't, pardon the French, but he's going to complain a bit to get in the game. And I don't know if Sean Payton won't deal with that, but it would be fun to see Ingram come back in the capacity to team up with his buddy Alvin Kamara. Perhaps he can keep his young goofy ass out of the clubs when he's supposed to be chilling at the facility, not endangering the teammates. So, I mean, it could be a positive, bro. Who knows, bro? But it wouldn't be the first time that an old Saint comes back to the marching grounds. Remember we did it with Jari Evans when, he did that. And several other Saints players had an opportunity to come home as well. Malcolm Jenkins is a one that was drafted here, left, and ultimately came back. Patrick Robinson. So we do have the record of going and get players who have left and come back. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, fam. So, and he probably would he would definitely be cheaper than what they're paying Latavius Murray. So in the long run, that could be a plus and a minus, you know what I mean? So not a bad thing. All right, thank you there. All right, big ups to the rest of the family members. Smallville, what's up, Smallville? Says Jameis will be a fool to take more than 1 year deal with anyone. All right, thank you, Smallville. Had to emphasize the fool. All right, let's pick up all the family members with them ones, man. Tyrone, what's up, fam? Kelvin, what's up? Kelvin watched you from Phoenix, Arizona. What's up, Kel? Big ups to you, fam. All right, let's see what else we got. Willie says what they need is more of a counselor for when Peyton walk around with his morals in a jaw storm. He says, storm out whenever he get ready to. Yeah, well, there you go, Willie. And I agree with you on that, bro. Kevin says, but Cam don't want to move Q. He tell coaches he doing what he want to do. And see, you can't do that, Cam. And I understand that, but see, that's why Cam didn't have double-digit sacks this year, because he was sitting up there worrying about J.J. Watt. And that's the one thing I didn't like about Cam. I like everything Cam Jordan is about. But, I didn't like that one thing what Cam did when he was talking about trying to get 100 sacks in a year. And, that's J.J. Watt. Well, the reason why J.J. Watt got all those sacks before you is because J.J. Watt was moved around on that defensive line. Defensive line, the coaches would say, okay, we're going to start you at right end, and then before the snap, we're going to slide you over to the left end so you create that flash matchup against that guy and have their best interior or their best defensive lineman going up against the weaker of the two tackles. Usually the left tackle is the best guy out of the two tackles because he's protecting the blind side of the quarterback. So if you was a smart defensive lineman, you would kind of slide to that opposite tackle where you can be able to do something, and sometimes run stunts where you come from the outside in and get a direct lane up the center to the quarterback. Cam fight against that, talking about staying clean. There is no such thing as staying clean on the football field. You're getting double teamed every game. How are you staying clean? Wouldn't standing clean mean you getting single coverage? Well, they couldn't double block you if they didn't know you was coming. So, I mean, if you want the 100 sacks, bro, start stunting. And I ain't talking baby and this dude. Yeah, playboy, let me tell you something, playboy. You're going to have to, Big Q know what he talking about, playboy. You know what I'm saying? Big Q know you got to start stunting, baby, like the #1 stunner, baby. Stunt the hot boys, original hot boys. Cam, you're going to have to learn how to stunt. Come on, buy me a Cash Money Records. We're going to show you how to really stunt over here. That's how you got to listen to baby ass. You got to stunt, Cam. You got to stunt. You got to stunt. You got to stunt. All right, let's keep it going, man. Let's keep it going. What's up? Zendel says, off topic, I've been seeing coverage talking about Pat Mahomes' path to the GOAT status is over. That's ridiculous, man. I've seen that. But if that's the case, wouldn't Eli Manning be considered a GOAT because he's beaten Tom Brady twice? That's a good point, Zendel, and welcome to the channel, fam. Appreciate you. Who that to you, Zendel Gaming Channel. That's a great point. That's just a bunch of nonsense there, man. Talking about his GOAT status. The kid just got to the Super Bowl one time, and that's a part of the big blow-up machine that these people do. John says, Big Q, would Von Miller fit on his defense? Yes, indeed he would. You could play him at linebacker. Well, he's lost a step or two, but I'll stay away from Von Bell. Got a lot of off-field issues, and plus he's banged up, getting a lot of injuries too. Dada, thank you for the super chat. Says, would anyone be upset if we traded Taysom and Armstead first this year and next year in a package deal to move up for Zach Taylor? It's being indicated, I don't know how true it is, but the Jets are interested in taking Zach Taylor with the second overall pick in the draft. So, I don't know. I don't know they would take Armstead and Taysom Hill. Dada, thank you for the super chat. I like Zach Taylor, man, but I don't see the Saints taking a quarterback with the first round. I would be really surprised if the Saints took a quarterback this year. I mean, you passed up on Lamar Jackson. I mean, anybody, my son would draft Mark Jackson I mean, come on. You was within, 2 picks from getting my homeboys? You had a chance at Deshaun Watson? You moved up the same year to get Lamar, moved up right where the pick with Lamar Jackson is in the year we traded 2 picks with Green Bay. And went up there and took Davenport. So, I mean, man, when I seen that happen, I said, man, this dude ain't serious about taking no goddamn quarterback. He ain't serious about taking no quarterbacks. How you pass on Lamar Jackson? How? And that's why I was like, this goddamn guy ain't serious about no young quarterbacks. He like reclamation projects. That's what it is. And that's what Drew was when he came from Miami. Drew had a tore up shoulder and people ain't think that he could play the game no more. Go look it up. And besides, Drew wasn't coming to New Orleans. He didn't make a beeline to the boot. He was going to Florida. He went to Florida. He was wanting to play for Nick Saban in Florida. And Nick Saban said, nah, we don't want you. We with Dante Culpepper, another guy who had injury problems. And then Drew said, by default, I go to New Orleans. But the truth be told, if they would have picked Miami, we would have had the default of either quarterback that Miami didn't have or didn't want. But we ended up getting Drew was a reclamation project because a lot of people didn't believe that his arm would be able to push the ball on the field. That's the truth. Go look up the news and notes during that period of time. That was the real deal. And then ultimately, you see Taysom Hill is a bit of a reclamation project. This guy is he's a 31-year-old quarterback who just started as a quarterback the first time this past season. Jameis Winston, 5+ years in the league, got kicked out of Tampa Bay pretty much. A lot of people thought his off-field issues, personal life, and all that type of stuff, he'd never be a good quarterback. Reclamation project. We don't like to get no young quarterbacks and do that. We'll scout the hell out of them to throw you off. But when it came down to it, we sure enough going to pick a center like we did last year. We ain't need no center, man, to play guard. We picked a center to play guard, and then that's the guy that got beat to get Drew Brees slammed in the turf. Bodies, Stone Cold Steve Austin into the turf by the 49er player. So, I mean, it's just, vision is the key to this. And even though you smart, and I know it's smart for you to make the charge to get a quarterback, but that coach is not thinking that way, man. Nobody and his mama would have took a center last year. I mean, come on. You don't put a center on a Super Bowl or bust offensive line with probably one of the least mobilest quarterbacks in the NFL. Nobody would have done that. Well, nobody with good sense, that is, but we continue to see that. All right, Who That For Life said, what about Desmond King? The cornerback, Desmond King? You talking about Desmond King, the cornerback, bro? Used to play for the Chargers? I like Desmond King, man. Got good size on him and good size for a cornerback. And also he was a guy that has kick return, punt return attributes as well. If that's the same dude you're talking about there, bro. Who That For Life? When you say Desmond King, that's what pops up in my mind. Correct me if that's the correct person. Swag says, we need to keep our eyes on the QB in Lafayette. Levi. I've heard about Levi Lewis. Yeah, I just don't see the Saints taking no quarterback, bro. Peyton got like 3 years left. It just, like I said, this guy's a guy. He loves reclamation projects, I just don't see him taking that. All those guys, just thinking about the list that I just named. Those guys I just named, those young quarterbacks, top 5 or top 8 quarterbacks in this league, and we just passed on. Passed on. We don't need you. And then around that time, most of these quarterbacks been in the league for maybe, 3 or 4 seasons? At that time, check my memory, but Drew Brees, isn't he 42 years old? So 4 years ago, would he be in his late 30s? Wouldn't that be a good time to go get a quarterback like that? And as opposed to you wait until a man is 42? Oh, my goodness. Good grief, man. Dada says, just questions, Big Q expanding the grades. No, Dada, that's totally fine, bro. Totally fine, those questions. But listen, that J.J. Watt question, man, that had my brain going like, man, you put J.J. Watt next to Cam Jordan and Davenport? Oh, look out. Look out. It's just the money, what the money look like. All right, Pelicans up. I'm looking at the screen right here on the Pelicans. Let me get on up out of here, finish watching this game in full. Got the Pelican post-game report to all the family members out there who are Pelicans people. The Pelican post-game report will be coming up later on tonight. We'll be covering it as well. Pelicans up on the Bulls right now. So let's keep it going. I'm going to close out this sucker. Big ups to the rest of the family members. Appreciate y'all being in the live stream. Tramal says we should have gotten the linebacker, not Ruiz. Well, you got a center to play guard. You ain't like that? And he'll switch back to center this year, which pretty much means he'll be a rookie again. So, I mean, you tell me if that makes sense. I ain't a genius like what's his face, like everybody keep telling me. But Tramal says Pat Queen would have been a better fit. Don't say that to GM Kev because he get pissed off every time somebody say Patrick Queen. That was his pick. He get pissed off right away. All right, Adrian, what's up, Adrian? Lori, who that to you? Lori, big ups to you. Brian, what's up, fam? Say I heard a report Tampa might be interested in Adrian Peterson. Yep. Wouldn't be surprised, bro, that they get him. He's still interested in running. He's trying to get some records there. Dada says our first-round picks are actually second-round picks for a top 5 QB, injury-prone left tackle, and a gadget dude. Sean Payton sees Taysom Hill as Steve Young, brother Dada. And you got to give up a first-round draft pick for Steve Young, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's a bit of overvaluing players, man. Overvaluing the man. He good, but you're overvaluing him big time. You know what I'm saying? And he got to keep it real. Willis says Drew got rock bottom by the 49ers player. It's illegal hitting through a flag because you can't hit a white man. Well, hey, man, he got to pay. He took Drew down into the ground. He hit Drew Brees so tough and slammed him in the ground so bad I thought he was going to fall down in hell, man. I mean, damn. Tyra says Davenport ain't ceramic that day. Rob says a huge elephant in the room is the fan base doesn't want a full-time black QB. Remember how they wanted Jake Delhomme over Brooks. Yeah, and that's true. And Aaron Brooks, to me, bro, to be honest with you, bro, even though Brooks performed and he gave you all the statistics, Jake Delhomme was the local guy people wanted because he was from the area and he was part of that Cajun lineage like Bobby Hebert. And a lot of people wanted Jake Delhomme to be the quarterback. And I think, and his thing. But remember, when he left and went to Carolina, he made the Saints pay every time they played. Matter of fact, he took Carolina. He helped lead them to a Super Bowl there and had a lot of good success with Carolina under Jake Delhomme. So, yeah, I remember that. Thank you, Rob. Rab says, what about Ngakwe? Ngakwe. I don't know, bro. A lot of people getting rid of that kid. What's the problem going on with him? They called him, kicking small dogs or something. I don't know what's going on with Ngakwe. You get traded twice in the same year. That kind of gets my antennas up about you. You know what I'm saying? Who that for like say he played for Denver this year, Q, the slot corner. Yeah, that's who Desmond King used to play for the Chargers. I actually like that dude. He has kick return and punt return applications as well. He's about a 6-foot cornerback, pretty smart. He is better than any cornerback we have not named Lattimore, Jack Rabbit Jenkins, or Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And that's not saying much because underneath there, Ken Crawley, P.J. Williams, and all those kind of guys. I'll take Desmond King anytime over any one of them dudes. L-Dog says, trust the Peyton. All right, L-Dog. Who that for life say he's on the market. All right, Tramal says, didn't mean to bring it. Jim Kev get upset when you start talking about Pat Queen, man. That was his dude right there. He's trying to get him on the team. He says, hell to no, we've been letting go for too long. Scott said Ruiz fell asleep. He wasn't even in the play if you go watch it. He didn't have a opportunity. He couldn't trip the dude, grab the dude. He was just beat badly. Rob says Ingram and Jimmy want to return. They hurt too much to me, though. The Saints trying to get Jimmy. Graham to come back that year, but remember he chose to go to, what was it, Chicago that year. The Saints was trying to get him back, and he chose to go to the Bears, and and then we turned around and whooped their ass in the playoffs. A lot of good it did us because we didn't go that far. The next week we was done and we was up out of there. All right, Dada says, good night, fam. Got to grab a nap. Got to go. Okay, got to get up at 2. Thank you, Dada. Appreciate the super chat, my friend. Appreciate ya. Jared says, move on, bro. Stop dwelling the past. All right, so listen, fam. I appreciate y'all being here today, man, and joining in for the show called TSC Super Bowl 55 Ratings Plunge. Game hits 50-year low, and I salute the great Saint think tank for making that happen. Because the NFL, we have rusticate, says KK. I just see that. Rusticate. All right, so with that being said, I'd like to thank all the family members for chiming in. Please hit up on the like button. Please subscribe if you aren't a subscriber of the Great Saint Think Tank, a.k.a. the Sports Coma. Much love to you guys. Please feel free to join our Patreon. If you like what we're doing and you want to support the stream at a higher level, please feel free to go to our Patreon channel at patreon.com/the Pro Media Network. Thank you, Ghostface. Appreciate you, baby. Says, who that to you, fam? Thank you for your super chat. Much love to you. Much love. Appreciate you, Ghostface Grilla. Salute to the Great Saint Think Tank and Ghostface Grilla. Much love, fam. Appreciate it. And thank you for all the super chats and the cash apps from the family members as well. Appreciate the love. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you, Abraham, and the rest of the family. And like I said, if you want to help out and help the platform grow even further, please feel free to go to patreon.com/the PRO Media Network. Link is in the description section below. If you're a Pelicans person and love the Pels, we have a podcast called the Pelican Post Game Report. Link is in the description section below. It's Tough Tiger Talk and Ring Kings Boxing. All those links to those channels are in the description section below. Also, join the channel, become a member. It helps out the platform as we continue to give great content and continue to pump out really exciting, passionate, and awesome content on a daily or semi-daily basis. So with that being said, I'd like to thank all the beautiful Black and Gold family members for chiming in this installment of the show. I will see you guys later. Who that to you, and peace. I'm out.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. #1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons. We won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is say Superbowl. Yeah.